It is official. The WEP and GPO has been eliminated. President Biden has signed the Social Security Fairness Act, and this is now law. Now, the big question is, how soon is this going to take effect? So in today's video, I want to tell you everything that we know as of right now, as well as a few things that could put the brakes on this. Now, before we get into the next steps, though, I do want to quickly address something that I've heard a lot since this appeal started hitting the news. A few of my colleagues and quite a few viewers here have pointed out that the WEP and GPO was fair and it should not have been repealed. And I'll say that argument has merit for some people, but there were others who were not treated fairly. But instead of going down the road of talking about how the WEP and GPO actually restored the system back to the intent of the founders and getting into the nuances of replacement rates and bend points, one thing we can agree on is that the WEP and GPO is a dumpster fire. It only affected 3 to 4% of all Social Security recipients, and because of that, this was very poorly understood at the administration. And they spent a lot of time and manpower on calculating overpayments, underpayments, and chasing down some of the crazy nuanced rules about when it should and should not apply. Most of these overpayment notices that I have seen, in my practice at least, are from issues with the WEP and GPO. And let me tell you, if you've never been on the receiving end of an overpayment notice, just trust me on this, you don't want to. They are written in a way that makes it nearly impossible to understand the why behind the overpayment. And the only thing that's really clear is that you now owe the SSA thousands of dollars. And in some cases, I've seen people receive 2 overpayment notices on the same day alleging different overpayment amounts. It's almost impossible to untangle one of these and fully understand what caused it. And this is not just an anecdotal account from a financial planner on YouTube. The Congressional Research Service published a report back in October of 2024 that listed pensions based on non-covered employment as one of the primary causes of overpayments. And what they say in this report is interesting enough that I actually want to read it here. A September 2023 OIG audit, that's the Office of the Inspector General, found that the SSA is reliant on beneficiaries to report their non-covered pensions to the agency, except for federal employees for whom the OPM, Office of Personnel Management, sends a monthly pension notification. SSA requested a data collection or data match with the Internal Revenue Service to provide non-covered pension information from IRS Form 1099-R. IRS indicated that although it is authorized to share information with SSA for administration of SSI, it is not permitted to disclose non-covered pension information to SSA for administration of Social Security. So, the IRS has told the Social Security Administration that we're not going to share information with you about whether the pension this person was receiving was earned at a job where they did or did not pay Social Security. What a cluster. The end result is that the Social Security Administration will often go on a fishing expedition and put the burden of proof on the person they may think is receiving a pension from a non-covered job. Now, this fishing expedition is usually started with one of those overpayment notices. So again, while these rules were put into place to make things fair, it's turned into a tangled mess of rules that very few people actually understand well enough to implement. And I think it's past time for them to go. And my thought is that the SSA is secretly really happy that these 2 rules are being eliminated. Now, they're probably not happy about the amount of work they're going to have to do. This is a big undertaking, and it's big enough that they have it posted on the front page of their website up at the top. Now, they're going to have to go back and recalculate the benefits for about 3 million people, and that's going to involve benefits moving forward, as well as for the benefits those individuals would have received if those rules would not have been in place since December of 2023. Now, the update on the website says that the Social Security Administration is evaluating how to implement the act if signed into law. We will provide more information as soon as available. And that's all they're saying right now. So I would not expect this to get resolved in the next week or two. In fact, it could take months, but I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that the Social Security Administration has already put together a team to start implementing this. But with this happening over the holidays, they may be starting from scratch and figuring out how they're going to do this. But one thing is for sure, this new law is going to impact a lot of my audience. So when I see changes coming in the timeline, you're going to know about it here. So if you haven't subscribed or followed me yet, you should. Thanks so much for watching.